When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's Group Therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Kelly, if you were to explain what group therapy is all about, what would you say?
Well, this is a place that you can come to put your issue out there and maybe get some helpful advice from lots of people who don't have the emotions invested in the situation.
Yeah, and emotions, I think, is key here because, and I'm going to warn you that this is maybe a little bit heavy, but Amy reached out to us and she's on the phone now. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, thanks so much for allowing us to talk to you about this because I can understand why you have kind of that heavy heart. So go ahead and walk through what you sent us.
Well, so basically, I started dating this guy, and like everything's been really good so far in our relationship. But we kind of started talking about like some of the more serious stuff that like we've gone through, like and are going through.
Sure.
And so he opened it to me and told me that he has a congenital heart defect.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to need, like, multiple surgeries and serious care. And the thing is, like, I've already had a family member that's, like, gone through this and had to, like, live through this.
Oh.
And so he was excited about that. He was like, oh, my gosh, I really wanted somebody to understand. Like, you know what I'm going through. Like, it's not going to freak you out. And, like, and that's, like, you know, what he thought. And that's just, like, not true. Because, like, I've seen what it did to my family and what it did to me. And, so, like, my brother, like I said, my brother had congenital heart defect. And, I mean, it ruined my parents' marriage. It tore my sister apart, and she has severe depression.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously affected me.
Yeah.
And I don't even live near my family anymore because I couldn't deal with, like, the stress and the agony of, like, what our family went through with my brother having that and then dying.
Oh.
You know, he didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
And it's okay. I mean, it was a long time ago, but I don't think I can go through that again.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, like, abandon him, and I feel really conflicted, but I don't think that I'm strong enough for this.
Man. Have you approached that at all with your boyfriend? Like, this has been really hard on our family.
Like, I feel like I did a little bit, like, whenever I was telling him about it, you know, before I knew that he had it. And so, like, I thought he kind of got that, and then he opened up to me and told me, and then, honestly, it just completely threw me off. Because, I mean, I thought it was something in my past. Like, I thought I'd escaped all of that. And then it was, like, again, and honestly, I was just kind of, like, shocked. So, I mean, that's why I messaged you, because I don't know what to do.
Do you want to stay with him, or are you just kind of like, I don't know how I can go through this again with my boyfriend?
I don't know. Like, I guess I feel like we haven't been dating that long. I don't know. I don't. He's a really nice guy, but I mean, this is just a lot.
The good news is you got a lot of support coming in already on text. That's tough, and I'm not going to try to, you know, mince words and everything and say it's going to get any easier, but, you know, hang in there and, you know, at least, you know, listen to what, you know, our listeners have to say and read what they comment on Facebook. And, you know, maybe that'll help you at least, you know, reassure you in your decision as you move forward.
I hope so. But yeah, I will do that. I'll listen to the comments and everything. And I don't know. I just hope I get some good advice.
All right, Amy, thank you so much for calling and talking to us. You know, keep us posted, okay?
Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh my gosh, my heart breaks for her.
Oof.
And like Lisa texted in, I want to hug her right now. Just wow, that is a lot. There's just, like we said, so many layers, and I absolutely understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, I know she doesn't want this guy to feel completely abandoned.
Yeah, and we're getting a mix so far of people that are like, well, you need to stay with him. And then also people that are like,
You have to worry about you.
You need to worry about you. Yeah.
Don't feel obligated.
I don't know what to say here. So I'm going to leave the ball in your court. Not necessarily yours, Kelly, but
Thank you.
but maybe
I feel a lot of pressure.
502-571-9970. It's group therapy. Group therapy. This is a tough one and a little bit heavy. Like, Amy just started dating this great guy. He learned that she had a family member with a congenital heart defect and immediately bonded with her because he has one too.
Yes, and so he thought, well, this is great because this is someone who will understand what I'm going through.
But Amy is like, this really ripped her family apart. And
yeah, it was really traumatic.
And very emotional, and is not sure she's ready to dive into that and unearth all of those feelings again.
Well, and she doesn't know if she can go through it again.
Yeah.
Like, she is potentially setting herself up to have the same experience again.
And, we got a tweet from Rachel that says, he was sent to you for a reason. And it's like, okay, well, what?
Oh, yes.
I know. And so that's deep, but it's like, what reason is it? Is it for him or is it for you to help get over? I'm still just, and then you said we got a text from Montana.
Yes. Montana said, tell her that God only puts people in your life for a reason. And he put this person in her life for a reason. They didn't meet on accident.
Yeah, kind of that same thought process that Rachel had.
Yeah, this is her brother's sign that he's okay. He's in heaven. And maybe this is her second chance to prove that time heals everything and a sign that she can move on from her brother and be happy.
Man. All right, Shelby, what is your thought on this?
Well, first of all, I want to hug her as well. That's so much to, think about. My advice to her would obviously be compassionate, but she does have to think about herself. And communication is so important in relationships, and she just needs to be honest with him, and she just needs to explain just how traumatic it is. And maybe his defect is not as bad as maybe her brother's was. Maybe she got an idea of, how bad the situation is. Maybe it's something she could consider.
Yeah.
But that is a lot to think about. It's not like, I hate to be like this, but it's not like you're married.
Yeah.
But if they haven't been together very long, she just needs to be honest with him and explain where her head is. But that's a very detrimental thing to experience, and I'm sure it's going to be bringing back some maybe post-traumatic stress,
for sure. Gosh, I feel so bad for her because these are really heavy things to launch into so early in your relationship, but, she's got to obviously tackle it now. So, Shelby, thank you so much for calling in.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
All right, you too.
Yeah, Crystal had some options. She said, A, be honest with him, brutally honest. Do it now, don't lead him on. Or B, maybe seek counseling with him in order to deal with your past and to prepare for going through this with him.
I guess I'm not surprised by what I'm reading on Facebook from just some people that are like, hey, not to sound mean, but he could pass away from other causes at any minute, as could you. So he could end up living a long time. You just never know. That's part of life. If you're even thinking this way, then walk away and let him find someone who can really love him. And so I think she's just torn because she does have feelings for him. It is early in the relationship, and she just doesn't know yet. She doesn't know. It's all the unknown.
It's really, it's new, and it's just an awkward time to figure all this out. Lori said you're 3 weeks into the new relationship. This is the time to find out something that is not going to work and end it before getting any deeper. With that being said, though, you should consider that your family's experience with your brother was unique to those people at that time. I've seen relationships made stronger and even more joyful amidst illness. Life is what you make it.
Yeah.
It could totally be different.
Yeah, and Renee kind of rolls in and says, hey, this happened with your brother a long time ago. Medicine has come a long way, and he seems to be living his life so far and doing well. And so this, you kind of need to look at each situation uniquely, and I think that's what we're saying. So I don't know what we're saying here.
Well, this is honestly only something that she can figure out, like how deep her feelings are at this point. Only she knows that. And I think some suggestions of really going and getting some therapy and digging through this is probably a good suggestion. But being honest with him about how her fear of knowing what she went through and how tough that was. I think if she's as honest with him as she was with us, I mean, you could hear the emotion and pain in her voice.
100%.
I mean, he's got to understand she's got a unique vantage point coming from where she's been.
Yeah, I think that's a great set of advice is just, one, you've got to have that raw conversation with him. And you know, maybe
as hard as that's going to be,
and maybe you just take it kind of one day at a time. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I don't want her to like go into this thinking it's going to be a carbon copy of her previous experience, because like a lot of people pointed out, medicine is different. You know, not all the defects are the same. Like this could be, you know, a completely different situation. Yeah. So I think, and it could have been, this can be a sign. Who knows? Maybe he was sent by her brother. Don't know.
Yeah, and what the hardest thing I think will be to figure out is where your feelings are coming from. Are they coming from guilt, or are they coming from real love and admiration for him? So, and
that is hard to figure out when it's 3 weeks in.
Yep. So let us know. Keep us posted. We're all thinking of you, Amy, and
we're giving you big hugs.
Yep.
I mean, I know there are some people that are pretty harsh, just like he deserves better, but this is really like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
All right.
This is tough.
All right. Feel free to chime in on Facebook at Ben and Kelly Show, but I want to move on to happier things here on the show.
Yeah, we need some more feel good. Some people said we need more feel good.
Yeah, I know. I want to move on to a little bit more happier things.